All right, guys. Hello. It is June 4th. Can't believe it. But we are really, really excited for this team call. We've got lots of stuff to share with you. We are going to hear about ANMP, and we even have a little bit of a training for you guys tonight. So without further ado, I'm pretty sure we're going to start with ANMP, right? Megan, is that what you want to, or do you want to do the training first? No? Okay. So ANMP, we're going to start there. And Amanda Hughes, I know, is going to share her takeaways tonight from ANMP. So I'm going to unmute you, girl, and then we're going to start there. So hello. You're on.
Hi. Okay, so most of you know I went with Megan and Jermaine. By the way, they're awesome. So you really need to get some friends like them. But anyways, so let me start off with, it was an amazing experience for me, never ever being to something like that. I felt the connection with everyone. I felt all the love and the support. The stories were just amazing. It felt literally like a huge family reunion, and I barely knew anybody there. If you've never been, you should really try to get to go to the next one, because it really does help you with a lot. So a few things that I learned is you should always remember why you started this business. You should never let your emotions control you, and you should set some goals, because your actions is what predicts results. A couple other things is you should try not to overhype or oversell this stuff. You should just be yourself. Everybody wants your story. They love your personality. Don't be afraid to be you. And remember always that it's not about the money at all. Money is not the thing. It's helping others become who they should be again. I think that's all for now. I'm a little nervous. So I just want to say thanks to Megan and Jermaine for welcoming me and supporting me through all of this, and just being there the whole 4 days I was with you guys. You were great.
Girl, you killed it. You did a great job. I'm nervous.
Thanks.
Breathe. Hang out right now. I'm in a robe. We're good. So, it looked like a ton of fun. I was able to, even though I didn't go, I did get the recording of it. So I've got to watch still Saturday. I missed Saturday, but from what I saw, guys, it was absolutely incredible. So I know we are also going to hear from Megan and Jermaine, obviously, since they went as well. So who wants to go first? Okay, Megan, Jermaine pointed at you, so it's all you.
All right. So I'm not doing like my takeaways from ANMP. I'm actually going to do a training. Jermaine did an amazing live on her Facebook page. Y'all should go check it out about her takeaways. And I did one on my Facebook page about my takeaways. I think over the next couple weeks, what we want to do is actually deliver you guys the actual content that came from it, more than just our ways. And we actually also next week have some rising stars that are going to be sharing and all that stuff. So tonight we want to talk about three-way chats, and I have a slideshow to pull up for you guys, and I'm just going to dive into it. So I'm going to pull this up. All right. So let's do. All right. Who wants no more three-way calls? Okay. I know that three-way calls can be very intimidating for people, and the way the world is today, especially with a lot of the millennials that we're working with, they don't want to get on the phone. I don't even really like to get on the phone, guys. We're busy. And so when you do three-way calls, you have to take, a 30-minute chunk out of your day. And if you're trying to enroll a lot of people and close a lot of people, that's a lot of time out of your day, out of your upline's day. So we want things that people can check in and out of. So times are changing. Let's talk three-way chats. All right, so why three-way chats? Well, the first was that I just said, so people can pop in and out of these chats on their own time, right? They don't feel like they have to schedule a block of time. They're not intrusive. So it helps our team members succeed and enroll, right? So that duplication that we all want. If you're struggling with closing people, these are going to be crucial for you. So that third party validation, it's kind of like having that quote unquote expert that steps in, right? So if you're like really new to this and you don't have a lot of credibility or don't have a following, it's going to help you with that third party validation. It's also good for training new members on closing. So you see how your upline does it. Then as you enroll new reps and you become seasoned in this, you can then do that for your team. So it just helps with that duplication down the line. Evidence that the business works. So if prospects are ever on the fence, they need to know that it's working for other people. So it's just that extra piece that steps in. It builds belief and vision. Leveraging your upline who maybe has more experience or more posture, right? But I talk about borrowing posture. If you don't have posture of your own, it's time to borrow it from your upline. And then again, it's non-intrusive, no pressure. Like the closing calls, three-way calls can be very intimidating and feel very kind of a lot of pressure for some people. So that's why we want to move to three-way chats. I'm super excited about this. If you're excited, drop it in the chat. I can't see it right now, but anyways. So the setup. So you have them check the info in the ATM group, right? You're prospecting or you're talking to people. You're using attraction marketing. They're asking what you're doing. You're pointing them to the ATM group, the third-party tool. And then basically it's answering questions while they're fresh on their mind. You're going to pop them into a chat. You're going to do an edification, right? So basically, if they say yes, they checked out the info, you're doing your follow-up, and you're like, hey, wanted to check in. Sorry, I haven't had a chance to check in with you yet. Wanted to see if you checked out the information. And if they say yes, you can just say, great, I'm going to actually pop you into a chat with my business partner who's super fun. She's going to get all your questions answered while they're still fresh on your mind, okay? So you're not even going to ask them anything else other than that. You're just going to pop them into that chat. So I'm going to say this too. I'm going to throw this in there. If you are closing people left and right on your own, like you have problems closing people, you're enrolling reps, you're closing them, no problems on your own, then you might not need to leverage your upline in a three-way chat, okay? If you're like a lead on this team. But if you are not closing people, then I definitely want you guys to utilize us. Utilize your uplines, okay? So you're going to say this. And we'll get this all typed up for you guys so you know exactly what to say and all that stuff. Pop them into a chat with your upline, okay? And they're gonna help you walk them through that process. So the edification is important. It's basically to lift and raise each other. It's gonna be mutual edification. And what this is going to do, it's going to show your prospect that we actually do care about each other, that it's a family type culture, that we really are here to help each other, lift each other, welcome them. It's going to feel very fuzzy, okay? That's what edification is supposed to do. It's supposed to make everyone feel very just warm and fuzzy. That's how I like to put it. You want to hit all four personalities. This is something that when I at ANMP, I'm like, oh my gosh, this really clarifies it for me, because think about the different personality types that you talk to. And we've talked about this, like the red personality, right? They're the leaders, they're the go-getters, they're the action-oriented. We have the green, which is the analytical person. They like numbers, right? We have the fun is the blue, the fun personality, right? And then we have I think it's the yellow, or maybe I have that reverse. Yellow is like the caring, nurturing. So when you edify your upline, you want to hit all of those personality types so that whatever type of prospect you're talking to, they're going to be like, oh, great, that sounds awesome. So excited for you to meet Jermaine. She is going to answer all your questions for you. She's super successful here, has years of experience, and she's also super fun and down to earth and truly cares about her team. That's how I'm going to introduce Jermaine, right? So I'd be edifying her, and I'm hitting all of the personality types in the edification. So that's important. And again, we'll get this all typed up for you. So depending on your upline, you're going to their name, obviously, and the edification. And then the upline's going to edify you back. They're going to be like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And she'd be like, oh my God, yeah, Megan's a freaking rock star. She's been rocking this business. We're super excited. Like, she's going to edify me back. So it's going to be a mutual edification between you and your upline. And so then you have the chat. This is like the setup of the chat. So the intro, right, where I just introduce my upline, then the mutual edification back. And then it really answers all of these She's going to answer your questions. She's successful. She's fun. She cares about people and excited to explore the possibilities with you. So the upline can use voice, memo, or text. So the leader that trained the MP, she was all about voice memoing. Some people don't really like voice memo. There are so many different, Ray Higdon hates voice memoing. Loves voice memoing. So there's very different schools of thought on voice memo versus text. I'm going to say that your upline is going to choose whatever they're comfortable with, and it's totally fine. You can do this either way. So basically, upline is going to go through these questions here. So tell me a little bit about yourself, right? We're talking to your prospect. What has you looking for a business, right? What have you seen so far so that we can see, what have they looked at? What resonates with you, or what do you like best? And so these are a lot of the same questions we have on those closing scripts, like when you do a closing call. What questions do you have? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10, you're ready to get it started. Where are you at? Shall we share with you how most people get started? So talking about startup costs, packages. Sounds like you're ready to get started. And if they say no, then the upline's going to be like, oh, wow, I'm okay, well, when most people say exactly what you just said, they typically join. Do you have more questions? So that's basically the layout of the closing chat, and really going to walk your prospect just through all of those questions. And let's see, how do I get out of here? Okay. That is basically how the three-way chats are going to go. So I really do encourage you, and I know that recruiting and closing is one of the biggest struggles that a lot of people have, and until they're seasoned and have been doing this a while, I think closing those prospects is probably one of the biggest struggles. So I think this is really going to help you guys, because I know, again, three-way closing calls are really hard to get people on. These chats are really going to help you guys close way more prospects. So I'm excited. Hope you guys use us.
Yeah, guys, so three-way calls, I love three-way calls. I know Megan is like a goddess at three-way calls and closing calls, but they are, it's hard. Who wants to get on the phone nowadays? It's hard to get people. And then a lot of people are afraid that if they get on a phone call that they're going to have to be sold almost in a way, where it's very high pressure, and that shuts down a lot of people. So the three-way chats is really a simple way, I think, for all of us to get people at least talking to us, talking to your upline, right? Like that is the end goal. Let us help you. Like that, let us help you. And this is such an easy way to open up a conversation and let us help you kind of close that prospect. And just try and remember that, there's a lot of people, it takes 7 exposures for somebody, before somebody says yes to the opportunity. So getting them in contact with us is also a really great way to follow up with people and offer them a three-way chat. It is a chat, a Facebook chat. It's not scary. It's not time consuming. It is just simple and a great way for you guys to utilize that as a follow-up as well. So that is awesome. I know we are going to hear a lot more about this ANMP. Like they're basically, guys, they've got nuggets upon nuggets upon nuggets from ANMP, and we are basically going to trickle these out to you. So that is one of the big reasons why we're not sitting here tonight just saying, oh, this is all of the nuggets in one night, because let's be honest, that's not going to be the most effective way for us to absorb all of that. But yeah, so Jermaine, my friend, I'm unmuting you. Hold on. Unmute yourself. You do it. Okay.
Okay. So you guys, another question that we have about three-way chats. Like, who's excited for that? I love three-way calls and three-way chats, because you know why? It takes the pressure off of you and it lets us do the work. And I also like three-way chats because it's so much easier to talk to a stranger. They don't know me. They don't know Megan. They don't know Kelly. So we can just talk and we're not worried about feelings, like, oh my God, what are you going to think about me? Because, you know, they're my friend from high school or whatever it is. So three-way chats are there to help you guys. You don't have to use it, but if you do, if you've used it before, you know, they're really, really beneficial. And it shows your prospect that she doesn't even know anything. I can do what she did. I can answer a few questions and then bring in my upline and they can help me. So it makes them know that they're not alone. So that's why we wanted to do that. But before you bring them to a three-way chat, you guys, there are some things that have to be done first. So they have to actually see the information first. They have to know what our product is. They have to be in our group, or they have to have seen the landing page. You can't put them in a three-way chat with your upline and your upline starts asking them questions and they're like, well, what's your product? They weren't ready to be there. So you're still going to take the first step. You're going to invite them. You're going to tell them what this is about. And if they're still open, they're not rude to you, they don't tell you no, put them in contact with your upline. Another thing with the voice messages, I dislike voice messages unless I know who you are, because it takes way too much time, especially if they send me like 7 1-minute long voice messages. I'm not going to listen to that. So if you send that to me, just know I'm not going to listen to it because that's way too long. That's like a phone call. But with voice messages, you can hear the person's excitement. So the lady who was on stage giving this training, she is very, very very addicting. You can hear it in her voice that she is excited. She loves what she's doing. She's been doing it for a long time. And that is what we want your prospects to hear, because in the beginning, you're scared, right? Like your voice is a little bit shaky because you're not really sure if this is going to work for you. You don't really know what you're doing, but your upline, she knows what she's doing. She knows that she's making X amount of dollars. She knows everything that needs to be done to get to like from point A to point B. She knows what she's doing. Your prospect will feel that in their voice, and there's just something with words that it just gets them to say yes. So that's why we want to do that as well. Let me see what this says. New prospects who have never done MLM. Yes, they will like the voice messages because they can hear you, and it's going to feel like they're connected to you. So that's really what it is. Like we're just cutting out the phone. We're still using our voice and we're passing it on to them in a message that's convenient for everybody. What else? I think that's it that I have for that topic. Unless you guys have any questions.
Does anybody have any questions? Feel free to type it out in the chat if you guys have questions. Again, we will put all of this in writing for everybody in the Dynasty. So do not fret or be like, oh my God, I didn't write it down fast enough. Like, we got you. We got you, boo. Don't worry. We will share all of this information. Yeah, tomorrow we'll get that in there. I do also want to mention they did release at the little Ellepreneur event beforehand that we are having convention is October 25th through the 27th, right? That's the correct one. I believe that's the correct one. Okay.
Yes.
So 25th to 27th in October, it is most likely going to be, I mean, normally they do like a little something on Friday, like there's like a welcome party at night. And then it's normally like all day Saturday and then a little bit of Sunday. And it kind of ends like early afternoon Sunday. So for anybody planning, like even if you can't go the whole time, y'all, please try and make it. Try to make it. I will be there. I'm hoping my husband will be coming with me. Megan, Jermaine are definitely going to be there. I know a lot of you guys are already talking and planning about getting there, but I cannot tell you if you guys don't, I mean, clearly we have a huge call tonight. There's 45 of us on, and you want to know why? It's because y'all want to know what happened at ANMP. Y'all had FOMO, and that is exactly why you need to try to make it to convention. I understand the financial situations, the time situations. Shoot, you guys, I get the mom guilt situations even with it. Like, I feel you on all of it, but I can tell you from experience that I have seen massive growth every time after any type of event or convention or something like that. Like, I have seen massive surges from events. So we really encourage you guys to go, come hang out with us. It is going to be so much fun. I believe it's going to be at the same hotel, Candace. I believe that's just my assumption. ANMP was at the same hotel. So it is going to be, okay, yeah. So it is going to be at the same hotel as well. So y'all, we can get rooms and book together so that we, aren't having to buy each separate rooms. Like we can hook everybody up. So please try to make it. And yes, I think we do want to end the call with some company updates too.
Maybe, and also what I was going to say is maybe we should try to get a whole floor at the hotel.
I know. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like somehow get a block.
So if you even are thinking, like, honestly, guys, if you're not sure, but you're thinking that you want to go, like, please just tell us where you're at. You don't have to be like 100%. We understand,
we'll make a post in the Dynasty to get like a head count, like a generic head count. And then we can see if we can maybe like whole block, like a whole floor of the Addison Renaissance. So we can all at least be on the same floor. That would be super cool.
Yeah, it would be amazing. Like, it's so fun, you guys. And it's super, super valuable to go to these things too. So we do not know anything about the hemp oil coming back for the pets, by the way. We don't know anything about any of that yet. So obviously if we hear of any of that kind of stuff, we tell you guys immediately. So Jermaine, did you want to share the company updates, or do you want me to?
I got nothing. I was late.
I have it.
Okay. I wasn't sure who it was.
So they are reformulating our coffee, and they're making some tweaks to it. So can you guys hear me? It says my connection's unstable. We're good?
You're good.
Okay. So what they're going to do is I believe they're taking out the PEA in the coffee, and they're replacing it with some other natural plant-based ingredients that are basically going to do the same thing. But they wanted to reformulate it for several reasons. They're taking out the brown rice syrup to make it completely keto friendly. Taking out the artificial flavoring, taking out the brown rice syrup to make it completely keto friendly. And then they wanted to reformulate it so that we could launch into other countries to make it other country regulatory, especially Australia. So after Canada, the next thing is they wanted to launch into Australia. We already have like in Australia, people are kind of able to somewhat enroll in Australia, but they can't get the coffee. So they really formulated it so that we could officially Australia, which is huge, right? So they're reformulating it to make it more national regulatory. Let's put it like that. There's some tweaks that need to be made. They do not have dates, so don't ask us yet for dates, because we did get to test like the test version of it, and they didn't even have it in official tubs. It was like in these little generic tubs that we had there. So it's not even packaged. It's going to be a little bit. So just know it's coming. They are working on that. Comp plan enhancements and additions are really exciting. Again, there are some minor tweaks that need to that. So I'm not actually going to go into the details on this call, because I'd be doing you a disservice without in stone. Just know that July 1st, there are going to be comp plan additions. They're bringing back some bonuses, which is awesome. There are going to be changes to the super affiliate status that you guys are going to love. So I will just put it that way. They're going to be rolling out calls. Corporate was going to be doing calls level by level, right? So they're going to do upper level leadership to roll it out. And then we'll be getting you guys calls, so you guys have all the training, everything you need to know. I would say if your goal is to hit platinum in June, I would do it in June, because it's going to serve you very well then come July. So I will tell you that it's really exciting stuff, and that's really all I have as far as company announcements so far.
Yeah. So guys, I do know that they are starting those calls about the compensation plan tonight. So and it's at ambassador level. So it's going to just kind of roll itself down from there. And obviously we will keep everybody informed as far as we know. But here's what I will say. Everybody that we have talked to about the new compensation plan enhancements are very excited. Very, very excited. And that is not what we have always got from compensation plan changes. So we are excited that they are excited because that's a big deal. So we have not heard anything about Canada. Actually, Chrissy Weisgarber did ask Brittany today, and what Robert said about the 3 to 4 week launch is not the correct. It's going to be longer than 3 to 4 weeks is what Brittany said today. So we are just kind of hanging out on Canada. Again, I don't know for sure. Brittany didn't know for sure either, but it's definitely going to be longer than what Robert said, which is typical Robert. Like, if you guys know Robert, I feel like that's typical for Robert to do something like that. So hopefully it's soon. If it were my guess, the reason that, and this is totally a guess, guys, please, a guess, but I assume that it might have something to do with the new formulation. So we'll see. I don't know, but I know ingredients in Canada and in the United States, they can be really weird. Like, weed is legal in Canada, but CBD oil is not legal in Canada. So it's back and forth. So Chrissy just said that Brittany said she's thinking July, but she doesn't know. So fingers crossed that it's July, guys, because that's really not too far away. Like, we're already, into June. So exciting stuff.
Comp plan. It's also the comp plan. Like, you don't want to bring in Canada and then like in 2 weeks you like flip everything. It'll be really confusing. So we got to get our comp plan in order and then we can bring them in. But your comp plan, they said we should have documents uploading into our back office sometime this month. When they showed it to us, there were a few little errors that they caught that they had to tweak. So once they fix it, they'll upload the document.
Cool.
But don't ask me to explain it because they showed me a whole bunch of numbers and I don't know what it means.
I will most likely be remaking all of the things again, guys. So don't panic. Don't panic. Did you just call me Sid? She didn't. Yeah, I know. I know.
Chart. Let me see if I have a picture of it for all you green people that want to see it. I think I have a picture of it. If I do, I'll post it in the Dynasty, but it's not like, you guys, it's just a small portion of everything that's changing. So it's really not going to matter. So until it changes and they upload the documents, everything we tell you is invalid because it's not final.
Correct. Anything is possible to change until it is in writing, in the back office, in motion. So we are literally just telling you guys what we know so that you are up to date with us. But we just want to be sure that we are clear that, this is us talking. This is not in stone writing, but everything that we have heard about the compensation plan, you guys are all going to be very excited for it. We are excited about the stuff that we have kind of heard about. But I will be remaking the compensation plan video once we have everything set in stone. I know that that our landing page is a little bit off. We've been basically waiting for this change before we redid any of those videos on there, just because we knew if we redid them, we would be redoing them again this month. So we are aware that it is out to date. I've gotten a few messages about that. So stay tuned with that. We'll get that kind of updated for you guys as soon as we have that under our wraps. And yeah, Jermaine, you do look skinny and hot.
Looking for the picture, like, what? I ate McDonald's today, guys. Shame.
Okay, Annie, what is your question about three-way chats? You can go ahead and unmute yourself if you want. I don't know where you are in the line. Or you can type it if that makes you more comfortable as well. But does anybody have any questions about anything in terms of the changes that we have coming, three-way chats, compensation plan, convention? Annie said, when we ask if they are open to three-way chats, do we also add them to the Happiness Project? So you hopefully add them to the Happiness Project beforehand, or you know, if they're honestly a prospect looking at the business, they add them into the sneak peek. So that's happiness behind the scenes, because that's more business oriented, whereas the happiness project is just very customer based, or just it has a lot of customer testimonials and things like that. So I definitely would recommend putting them into the group beforehand, have them check out the information beforehand, and then offering them a three-way chat if they aren't sold off of the group. So yeah, great question. Great questions. Does anybody else have any questions? No? Yes? Bueller?
I do, because I know someone's thinking this and they don't want to ask. What if they don't want to go in the group? What do I do?
Are you legit asking me?
I'm asking you.
No, you know that answer. Like, don't.
If they don't want to go in the group, it's okay. We have the landing page. There are some people that they're like anti to groups because they've had bad experiences. So don't freak out about that. Just give them the landing page. As long as they see information, you're good to go.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to give out the landing page right now, even though we know it's technically outdated, that there's new compensation. I'm still sending it out. Like, they don't know right now. We don't even know. Okay. So what we have is what we're going to work with. So don't be afraid to send out the landing page, guys. Like,
what we have is still current until
Yeah.
July, so it's still correct.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a great tool to use for people. I've had actually a lot of people say that they don't want to be in groups because they get added to groups all the time, right? And then they're like pissed off that they get added to groups. So we get it, and that's why we have the landing page, for us to have that third party tool. But yeah, if that is an issue, definitely utilize that. So anybody else have any questions? Because I think that are three ways more for promoter, prospects, or customers, or both. I would say they're more so for like business partners, three-way chats. If you really feel like you need, I mean, I don't see like why they couldn't be for customers, I guess, but I mean, I guess it would, be the same thing, right? Jermaine, what's your thoughts on that?
You can use it for both, but
Yeah.
Customers are a little easier to close on your own, but if you're new, you might not be able to. So bring it to your upline.
Yeah, always, for sure. Those are great questions, guys. I'm loving them. Is anybody else before we call it a night? Bueller.
And I don't have the picture of the numbers, you guys. I remember what happened. I saw that thing pop up and I told Megan, I don't want to know this. It was a lot, you guys. But I will say this. This is very exciting. This is what they told us, like, this is happening. Whether you hit super affiliate or not, you will now be paid on your downline, even if you didn't hit it. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, that is huge. That is incredibly huge, because if you guys have a team and you have not hit super affiliate with the team, let me tell you, we've had a few not happy people over that. So we are very excited to have that happening. Are there, let's see. Awesome, Sarah. That's so cool. Chrissy, I don't know what you're saying. Very, very cool, guys. Well, hopefully we will see you guys all in Dallas in October. I also am going to try to go to Ray Higdon's event. So if you're in Rank Makers, and you go to his event in Orlando, which is also in October, I think Kim Gibbs is also going to go to that. So let one of us know. Maybe we can get a little group there if we got any close to Floridians. It's only like an hour drive for me and it's free. So I think I'm going to go. So especially, yes. Okay. Yes, exactly, Chrissy. Yes. So we are excited that super affiliate.
If you don't have a team, then super affiliate doesn't matter to you because you're not losing any volume because it's all yours.
It is yours, all yours. So the thing with the super affiliate is if you guys have a team underneath you and you're not super affiliate yourself for the newbies, you basically would not be getting paid on your team, which sucks. That stinks. So they are removing that super affiliate status so that basically no matter what, you're going to get paid on your team, which is awesome. So we are excited about that. All right, guys. Well, that's all we have for you guys tonight. We are really quick. I just do want to mention we are going to be doing a Getting Started Right call tomorrow, 9 p.m. I will post all the information, the Zoom link in the Dynasty tomorrow. So if you are new or if you have newbies that are hopping on, I highly encourage not only the newbies to get on the call, but also their upline so that they can kind of see how they are run as well in case you want to start hosting them privately on one-on-one or doing group ones yourselves. But they're super informative and a really, really good way to get started. So we had over 100 new people join the team last freaking month. So hopefully we have a really, really big turnout. We are going to do Getting Started Right call tomorrow, and then the next one is in 2 weeks from tomorrow as well. So hopefully we will see you guys all then. Enjoy the rest of your night tonight, and we will see you guys all next week. Thanks for hopping on, guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye, friends.